Good morning, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, Priyanka.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Good morning.
Okay, so good morning, everyone. Welcome to the session on the talk on business model development. So here we have two resource persons, Mr. E. Rahul Reddy and also Mr. Arad Vemula. So these two people are the young entrepreneurs we have. So these two are the co-founders at Epic Bikes Center Automotive Private Limited. So I would like to give an introduction for the of the resource person. So, so first I would like to introduce Mr. E. Rahul Reddy. So he's the co-founder at Epic Bikes. Thank you so much. And he completed his graduation in NIT Warangal in the mechanical engineering stream. And also Mr. Arad Vemula, we have the other resource person, Arad Vemula. So he is also the co-founder at Epic Bikes. He is the co-founder at Epic Bikes. He did his engineering from NIT Warangal. He worked in the various companies. So I would like to invite the two resource persons, Mr. Rahul Reddy and Arad Vemula. So continue the session. First, I would like to introduce Mr.
Thank you very much for the introduction, and thank you, Priyanka ma'am, for giving us this opportunity to present to our students.
Thank you, sir. It's our pleasure.
I thank Maharashtra Engineering College for giving this opportunity for us as well.
And also, Mr. Arad Vemula, we have the other resource person, Arad Vemula. So, founder of Epic Bikes. He's the co-founder of Epic Bikes.
సార్ ప్రియాంక ఇంకెవరిదో వాయిస్ వస్తుందమ్మా పక్కన.
I think it is clear.
It is very clear right now.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. So, good morning, everyone. Hi, guys. How are you?
All the students are informed to
Sir, Mr. Arad, so I think probably మీ దగ్గర ఎక్కువ వస్తున్నట్టు.
just switch off your mic, all the students.
ప్రియాంక ఇంకెవరిదో వాయిస్ వస్తుందమ్మా పక్కన.
అదే సార్, ఒక్క నిమిషం. ఇప్పుడేం రావట్లేదు కదా? Yeah, now it's clear, sir. You can continue. Okay.
Yes.
Just a minute, Priyanka garu. Yeah. So we are going to talk about the business and
Sir, Arad, sir, you do one thing. Just once you exit and rejoin, sir. Probably.
ప్రియాంక ఇంకెవరిదో వాయిస్ వస్తుందమ్మా పక్కన.
అదే సార్, ఒక్క నిమిషం. ఇప్పుడేం రావట్లేదు కదా? Just now, is it okay?
Yeah, it is pretty okay now.
Yeah, thank you so much. Sorry for the inconvenience. Thank you. You can continue.
Yeah, we are sharing our screen.
Stop sharing.
Yes.
Is our screen visible, Priyanka garu?
Uh, yeah, but yeah, it's visible.
Yep.
Yeah. So let's get introduced to the word called business. Okay, as we are engineering students and we are deeply, doing our studies and whatever activity that we do is regarding engineering. Okay, let me introduce to you a term called business. Okay, so whatever is happening right now in the world, it is a business. Okay, let's say you are buying anything from a shop. Okay, the shopkeeper is doing a business. Let's say you are using a mobile application. The mobile application company is doing a business. So, but there is a difference between you buying something from a normal kirana store and you using a mobile application, or you buying a vehicle from a dealership. Okay, so there are few differences in this model. Okay, so if there is something new and that can be scalable, then that particular business is called an entrepreneurship or a startup business. Okay, so in this business, what should we look into? So what there is something called business model. So how do we create something that is useful for the people, and how it is delivered to the people, and how can we get the value from the customers to our company? The total synopsis is called business model development. So let's say if someone is constantly thinking to create value and build new business, so what are all the key components that one should look into to start a particular business is called a business model. Okay, so in the business model we have 9 key blocks. Okay, so in the 9 key blocks, the customer segment. Okay, the customer segment defines us to whom we are serving. Okay, and the value proposition. The value proposition says what is that particular value that we are adding to the customers. Okay, and with the channels. So how are we delivering that value to the end customer is called a channel. And customer relationship. So how are we going to interact with people, and how are we going to deliver that value to the end customer, and how are we going to support him in using our product or service is broadly termed as customer relationship. Okay, and then coming to the revenue streams, how are we going to generate money? So which is most important is called revenue streams. Okay, in this, to create value, what are all the resources that we should have is termed as key resources, and what are all the activities that we need to do to create that value and to deliver that value called key activities. And in the process of doing creating value and delivering, how we can optimize our business, and how we can spread fast into the market with help of some other partners are called key partners. And all the money involved, okay, the money which is involved in creating the value, delivering the value, and the money which we get after delivering the value is broadly termed as cost structure. So let's jump into one by one slowly.
Okay. So basically, these are all the 9 key elements, or whatever the 9 to 10 key elements that are needed to create a business or the business model in general. So we will start with taking an example of building, let us say, a business or an enterprise or even a startup, and then I'll explain you about how each of the segments are going to help us in developing our business model. Right. So first of all, in starting any business or any startup or even an enterprise, first we should know what all. I mean, to whom are we actually serving? So basically, are we serving to a particular group of people? Is it kids? Is it elders? Or is it male, female? Or is it to someone else altogether? So we need to be make sure that whom all we are basically targeting and what problem are we solving to that particular customers. So once we decide on basically a particular problem that we wanted to solve to a particular group, I mean, mass market is something. Let us say there is sugar. Sugar is basically required for every person on this planet. So it's a very mass market where a sugar business where their customer segments are like mass market. Let's say there is running shoes. Running shoes are basically for the people who generally jog or run. It is specifically for a niche. There could be let's say specific groups. There could be let's say normal bicycles for kids. So basically that is for kids who are in the age group of 2 to 5 years, both boys and girls, and there are very specific groups to whom we are particularly serving. And in I mean, in starting any business or in understanding what business are we going to do, first we have to understand very deeply into whom we are serving and what is their particular journey. So basically how the customer is going to use our product or use our service, and understand that so that our product and service can be molded into their lives very easily. So that is what is basically segmenting or customer segment. So first we should understand what problem are we trying to solve, and particularly to which customer segment are we trying to solve. And we generally term them as target market.
So let me give some more examples of already existing companies which are solving different customer segments. Okay, if we take example of Facebook, it is called a mass market product because most of us are on Facebook and are using it for since a long time. And if you take LinkedIn, it is termed as a social network for the professionals. Okay, whereas let's talk in terms of more tangible products, something like a car. Okay, a Maruti car. Okay, it is most towards the mass market of middle class people and higher upper middle class people. Whereas Ferrari, it goes to a niche segment of sports enthusiasts and yeah, in the zone of who are looking for a sports car. Okay, those people might be less, and that is very niche. Okay, and there are some other companies. Let's say let's take an example of Amazon. Okay, what does all Amazon do? It started as a bookstore, online bookstore, right? So it is a marketplace for many books. That is one customer segment where people want to purchase items online. It is a marketplace for that, as well as it is also having a different customer base of developers or startup companies which are using Amazon Web Services. Okay, so here in one unit, the customers are different. The people who are actually trying to buy something from online, and in the another area, it is the companies which are looking for cloud, space where they are using Amazon Web Services. Okay, so this is how the customer segments are different for different companies. So coming to the value proposition. So this is something that is very important because many companies start with and they think that they are adding value to the customers. So is that value really being asked by the people, or is it something that we assume that it is necessary in the market? Is something we need to we need to go into the market and get the real feedback. What is that particular value that we are adding to the target market? Why one customer should buy our product or service? What is that value he sees in a company to buy a particular product or service is the value proposition. So in general, let's say we are using WhatsApp. So what is that value addition that WhatsApp did and that not SMS SMS didn't do? Okay, so WhatsApp actually revolutionized the way we communicate with each other. Okay, we can right now we are able to text unlimited text. We are able to send image files, video files, and we are able to call. We are able to video call. So all these things are the value propositions that that WhatsApp created and SMS didn't. So many of the customers who were using SMS packs back then shifted to WhatsApp. Okay, that is one kind of value. The convenience of using or communicating with people has been increased with WhatsApp. Okay, coming to cost reduction. Okay, so yeah, so there are many values. In values, we can say that if something is helping us to reduce the cost of the existing product, then then there is some value that is being added. Okay, if there is a risk reduction, then there is some value being added. If there is some price reduction, then there is some value that is being added. And if there is some unsolved problem which is being solved right now, then there is some value that is being added by that particular company to the customers. Okay, let's say electric vehicles are booming right now, right? So why they are booming up? Because the cost of traveling has been drastically reduced from what a petrol vehicle does. Let's say a petrol vehicle or a petrol car burns rupees 10 per 1 kilometer. The electric vehicle, it burns only 1 or rupees 1 or 2. That is like 1/5 of the price. So there is a definite value addition to the target market. So this is called value proposition.
Yeah. So once we know who our customers are and what kind of value we are trying to add to the particular customers, this is more or less we understand what we are going to do about our business. So right now, so once yes, we got to know that we have created a value and we know the customers whom we are going to serve. But how are we going to deliver that particular value to the customer? I mean, taking the examples of let us say WhatsApp. Like WhatsApp has let's say created a mobile application where they know that their particular customers are going to use this particular application to ease their communication with their friends, family, or whatever it is. So, what is the channel that they are going to actually give this particular product to the company? So, the channel through which they are serving to the clients is through, let us say, the Play Store. Play Store is one of the channel through which uh, WhatsApp is able to deliver the value to the customer. Right. So let us say there are like you want to purchase a motorbike or a car. So what are the okay? The company is manufacturing. I mean, it has designed, developed, manufactured, produced all the cars, and it is lying at their factory. Okay, and we know that this particular customer X is wanting to purchase that. So through which channel are we delivering this particular car or a bike to that customer? So you can purchase either, let us say, you can purchase it online, you can purchase it by going to a physical store near your place. Or these are the places, I mean, the channel through which a person is able to get the value created by that company is the channels. So this is one of the linkage. It's a bridge between the value created and the particular customers. I mean that we are targeting, and it could be anything. So let us say for the software stuff and all, maybe we are using a particular maybe the Google link itself through which we are actually using. I mean Google servers or Amazon servers or Play Store, App Store, or our own website to basically provide our application or the software services to the end customer. So these are different channels that we have built to ease to provide this value to the customers. And other side, if it is a hardware or a physical good, we generally do it sell it through websites. Website is one of the channel, and physically the particular product is delivered from the warehouse to the customer's door delivery. So these are the multiple channels through which we are going to deliver. And whenever you are creating a value to a particular customer, we also have to think about which channel is the best channel to make the purchase smoothly. So these are all the ways where we can actually create the value and send it to the customer through a channel.
So in the channels, let's say a product is being manufactured at an industry in some far away place called let's say it's something that is very far from Hyderabad. Okay, and then how are people going to know that this particular product exists? Okay, so one should create awareness and then evaluation of that particular product had to be done. Then for a customer, purchase needs to be done, delivery needs to be done, and after sales needs to be provided. So all these things will be provided by channels. Okay, so this particular company will have channels to go to different places and to address different customers, tell about their product, and then and the customers make a purchase decision. Value delivery is being done, and also company provides the after sales so that the value which is generated is recurring. Yeah. So customer relationship. Uh, Many might have been, I think many of you know how a customer relationship will be. Okay, let's say you are using, let's say take an example of Flipkart. Okay, you ordered something and you got a wrong product, or you got a product which is, damaged. Then what is the first thing that you're going to do? You are going to call the customer support, right? Okay, so what is that particular interactions that we do with a company? Okay, either it being a customer acquisition. Let's say a company is communicating with you to buy its product or to buy a product on its platform. Okay, that particular interaction is called acquisition interaction. Okay, so this is the first step that lays a bridge between a company and a customer, and they start communicating. Okay, and this is the first step in the relationship. And once the company starts delivering products to its customers, and the customer segments grew, then uh, the customers need someone to support them for the products being delivered. If there is any issue with the product or service, then these particular customers require the support from the companies. Okay, and that particular interaction is called retention interaction. So summing up, both the acquisition interactions and the retention interactions clubbed together is called customer relationship.
Yeah. The next thing is basically the revenue streams. All right. So basically, let's say you have found the particular target market that you wanted. You know what value you are creating to that particular customer. So you have built channels, and you have also built a customer relationships where how you can basically acquire that customer or even retain the customer. So you have all these things. Okay. So once you have delivered the value that you wanted to give to the customer, and right now, how do we generate income for the value that we are creating to the customer? So these days, there are a number of ways how we can take the value from the particular customer. Let us say, I mean, I'll give you a few examples to understand. Let's say if you're purchasing a book, a phone, laptop, whatever it is, you're just simply giving out money and purchasing the product. It's basically kind of asset sale. I mean, the company is creating assets and it is selling its assets. So this is one way the company generates income. So there could be another way. Let us say you are renting the same product. Let's say you are renting for a day, for a month, or for a year. You are simply using that particular product for some particular period of time, and for the time that the customer is using, he is paying to the company. So this is how the income is generated. Let us say through the rental services that any company provides. There is something called, let's say, most prevailing is something in the software is basically the subscription fee, or let's say the usage fee. So generally, if there is a service that is provided through a software, so they take subscription fee. I mean, till the date that you are going to use this particular software, you have to pay the premium. Let's say there could be some products where those products do not generate income directly but indirectly. Let us say Google search is there. Google search is provided for free to everyone, I mean, who are using Google search. So but how is that particular business generating revenue from Google search product? So basically, when you are doing a search, they don't charge you anything, but you are made to look at the advertisements. So just because there are many people coming in there and they sell the views that as a customer's viewing the Google search, they are going to sell advertisements to another companies and they generate revenue through that. It need not be directly from the customer to whom you are providing the service, but you can also generate money from other resources as well. But in general, the revenue streams that generally would be is asset sale. You are selling a product and taking the money. You are renting the product and getting the monthly income. Or else there is a subscription fee. There is a freemium. You give it for free for some time, and post that you're going to charge some money for using that particular product.
Yeah, I
So
think
yeah,
we can explain this with better examples. Let's say if it is an asset sale, a typical asset sale would be a vehicle could be an asset sale. Okay, you buy a vehicle and use it. A subscription fee. Let's say I think many of you knew Bounce Infinity. It is a combination of both asset sale as well as the subscription fee, where you take a bike and the battery is provided on subscription. Okay, you need to pay monthly charges for that particular subscription. Okay, and if we talk about subscription fee, we can also say about Amazon Prime. They give 1 year subscription. Hotstar, these are all coming under subscription fee. Whereas licensing, if there is any software that you people are using, or any of your friends are using in the college, it is being licensed by the college, and it is an yearly fee that yearly licensing that will be done by the college to provide that particular software to the students. So it comes under licensing. And advertising, as RR said, how Google is generating revenue, how newspapers are generating revenue. Okay, how TVs like Gemini TV or ETV is generating revenue. These are all generating revenues through advertisements. Okay, and brokerage fee. You can also say, I think many of you know payment gateways. How are they going to generate revenue? They are going to generate revenue on every transaction that a particular person does to a company. So these are all the revenue streams that are typically there in the market, and we can club one or two revenue models or many to create a new business model where a customer are willing to pay that particular money in different ways to the company.
yeah. Yeah. So right now, I mean, the first 4 to 5 things what we have discussed are basically in terms of creating the value, targeting the customers. So through which channel are we going to provide our value or the product or service, and how are we going to maintain a relationship with the customers, and how are we going to get the money after delivering the product or the service. Now, this is all the customer facing aspect of the business, but let us see what is happening behind the business. I mean, behind running this business. So, what are all the key resources that we need to create that value and deliver the value? So, it is yes. Let's say we decided to manufacture an electric bicycle, and we are selling electric bicycles to the customers so that they can go to schools, colleges, or their daily work easily. And we are selling it through some online website or stores, and also providing them service whenever there is a need for maintenance is happening. So, but what all resources does this particular company, which is manufacturing electric bicycles, need to create? So basically, the resources for any company in general, it would basically need human resources. You need talent to particularly do some R&D. Let's say you want to do some research, design, develop, and build a product, or even think about a service. Let's say there are many companies which provide services. Urban Clap, so where you will be able to get service of a plumber, carpenter, or maid, or anything else, where they are simply providing services. There you need human resource. Okay, to enable all these things, you need, of course, the capital or the money to run the business. To do the R&D, you might need labs, tools, equipment, and let us say even if it is a logistic business, you need trucks, you need drivers, trucks, and all. So these are all the resources that a particular company would be needing to create that value. If it is, let's say, if you take a software product, it would majorly need, let us say, the human resource, the talent who can actually build the product. You need laptops, you need, let's say, the internet, or you need the servers. These are all the resources that you would need to build a product. I mean, to build a product, in sense, to create a value through that particular product or to create a service. So I mean, listing down all the resources that you would need to create that product value, channels, run the business and all, is in general we call it as the resources needed. Yeah.
So coming to the key activities. So in doing this, what are all the activities that we as a company do to create that value and deliver the value to the customers? Let's say we are yeah, as a company at Epic Bikes, we are manufacturing electric bicycles. So what are all things that are going into manufacturing? First, we need to do research and development. We need to prototype, we need to test it, and then we will do repeated testing iterations, and then we come up with the final product. And once the product is there, we do concentrate on production, and after production there will be packaging, and then we'll be using logistics to cater to different areas in India, where let's say we are transporting the vehicle from Hyderabad to Bangalore, and then there is an effort made for sales, and there is an effort made for marketing. How as a company that we will be able to register in the minds of the customers. That is how we do marketing. So all the activities that are being done by the company inside the company, okay, that will help to create a value or a product or a service, and then delivering that particular value to the customers. So all these comes under key activities.
Yeah. Then key partners. So we spoke about what all key resources that we would be needing. Let's say you need all the equipment, human resources, tools, lab access to labs and all. Once we have all those resources, we spoke about the activities that we are going to do with those resources. Okay, you have the laptop, you have to start coding. You have to, let's say, debug later that. You have to get it, I mean, uploaded onto your server. So you have to create access via the channels to the customers. So after doing these activities, still there are a number of things that this particular company or anyone would be needing, either to optimize the business model, to I mean, maybe create the value quickly. You have to partner, or you'll need some partners to optimize this business model. So those can be anything. Let us say on the back end side, let's say you are building a particular hardware product. You may have to partner with the existing vendors. I mean, generally, say you need for the electric bicycle itself, you may need tires, you may need screws, nuts, bolts, seats, handlebars. There could be hundreds of components that would be there, where this company need not start everything from scratch. But if you partner with somebody who is already doing it, we will be a step ahead in creating the value and giving it to our customers. So these are few of the partners that we are going to do. Let's say, so we have created the product. We wanted to deliver it to let us say pan India, and we want to have an access via Amazon website. That means we are partnering with Amazon website to create access to everyone so that they can purchase our product. It could be on the back end, I mean, basically on the demand side, or even on the supply side. So there could also be something like technology partners. Maybe there could be some open source technologies, or let us say a particular company is good at a particular technology, and we did not start that from scratch. Maybe if we partner with them and take part of the technology and include it with our product, so we could create some a new value altogether. So these are all the ways we can partner with anyone, and then make it either quickly or optimize the business model, or even reduce the cost at many a times. So we have to identify first if there are any existing partners or existing companies where you can optimize the business model and take or build your product or value quickly.
Yeah. In this, I will also tell an example of a company where I worked. Okay. I used to work for Honda motorcycles and scooters before starting this company. So, what happened with Honda? Honda entered India with the partnership with Kinetic. I think many of you might know Kinetic Honda, which is the first moped that got a scooty kind of scooter that got released from Honda. So Kinetic were in a business of manufacturing, and Honda has the technology of engine. So they clubbed their technology of engine and vehicle with the manufacturing support from Kinetic, and they released a product called Kinetic Honda. That is called a joint venture. Okay. In the similar lines, once after the Kinetic Honda's era is over, and then Honda tied up with Hero. Hero was into cycles, manufacturing of cycles, and Hero has a huge setup of factories and manpower that can actually manufacture motorcycle. Honda gave its technology to, and they both joined hands to create a successful brand called Hero Honda. Okay, and many of us know Hero Honda bikes. So this is how key partnerships happen. Uh, the industry might be some company might be good at one technology and the other is good at some other. So both can join their hands and actually get into the market very fast, and then and then give its product or services to the people. So this is how key partnerships work.
Yeah. It could also be in such a way, like let's say our laptops are there. Let us say you are using Dell, HP, or Lenovo. So these companies are partnering with Microsoft to, provide the operating system for our laptops. So, anywhere and everywhere, there will be partners for any business to enhance their product or optimize their business model and take the product quickly to the customer. So, it is not needed that everyone has to do everything from scratch, but partnerships makes things much easier. Yeah.
So, coming to the cost structure, what are all the costs incurred during the complete process? So, this is the most neglected one, but it's the most important one. Someone should really understand, because here is the game of how the money is flowing. Okay, starting from your day one of your business, what are all the expenses that you are having? Let's say you are starting a software company. You need to give laptops to your team. So the laptops come under capital expense. Okay, let's say you are buying some web services and paying monthly lease or a monthly fee, then that comes under operational expenses. Okay, you need to pay salaries to your team, you need to pay rent to your office, you need to do some marketing so that your particular product will be known to the your target segment. Let's say you are building some B2B product, like your product is being used by the companies, then you need to show up at different companies of your target segment to explain your product and then sell your product. So in everything, starting from the food to fuel, the rent to the salary, everything is mentioned either in terms of expense or in terms of income. So all this clubbed together gives us the cost structure.
Yeah. So, in fact, these are all the elements that are there in the business model. I'll just skim through all of these things what we have told you. So, first thing is basically the customer segment and the value. So, we need to know to whom we are trying to create the value and what value we are creating, and what is a way that we can give this value to the customer. So, through which channel? Is it Play Store, App Store, or the physical store, or through any website? So what channel are we using to deliver that particular value to the customer? And during these channels, so how are we actually maintaining the relationship with them? So while acquiring, so while making the customer get to know about our product, and also after delivering, how are we providing them the after sales service, or how are we maintaining the relationship with them? So these four combinedly make a segment where you are creating a value and giving this value to the customer through your channels and the relationship. In this cycle, you generate revenue. So, once the customer is getting that particular value, he feels, whichever way that you are creating the revenue stream, be it sales, be it rentals, be it subscription fee, they're going to generate revenue.
In whichever way customer is willing to pay us, it is most important. How is the customer willing to pay us? Is he going to pay us upfront like a sale? Is he going to rent us and give monthly rent? or is he going to use it for a year, like a licensing of a software, something. So whichever way customer is actually willing to pay is something that matters, and that all comes under revenue streams.
So behind this value proposition, so we have these three things. What are the key resources, key activities, and key partners? So resources, as mentioned, are all the things that you need to create that particular value. Using these resources, what are all the activities that we have to do so that this particular value can be created? Let us say we are not completely doing that particular activity. So who are all the key partners that we have to partner so that it will get added to what we are creating, and a final product is developed. So these are all the three things that are going to happen behind the scenes. And during these activities and getting the resources or partnering with them, there is a cost that would be incurred. Let us say, be it in terms of everything, hardware, software, human resource, capital expenses, operational expenses, rent, all of these things comes under cost structure. Let's say even we are partnering with the technology company or any, let's say, Amazon website to put up our products, they're going to charge some fee from us to put the product on their website. So these are all the costs that we are going to incur. So once all these things are in place and we have a clear understanding on how this is going to work, so once the revenue stream is higher than the cost structure, that means that that this particular company is in a profitable state. If the cost structure is higher than the revenue stream, that means we have to either create more value to the customer and generate more revenue, or reduce the cost that we are incurring on the left side of the picture,
or generate more amount of customers so that your cost structure will decrease by using a leverage of economies of scale. So yeah, there are different aspects that goes into how we can actually decrease the cost structure and increase the revenue stream, or how many years that we need to burn, like maintaining high cost structure and low revenue stream. After the critical mass, then you will start moving towards more revenues and less cost structure. So these are all the things that come in the next step of a business.
Yeah. So yeah, this is basically the business model. I think now we will be open for queries. So I mean, yeah, so that would be more interactive, and we can understand what you wanted to know.
Yeah, thank you very much. So any students, do you have any queries? Please post your queries. If you have any plan in regarding starting any startup company or something like that, you can post your queries.
Yeah, you can drop a message in the message bar.
Okay. Anyone, if you have any problem with the mic, you can drop the message in the message box also, chat box also, chat window. Yeah, okay, probably I think you all are clear with the session. So thank you, Mr. Arad and Rahul for the wonderful session. So the things or the elements which you have explained regarding the business models like key partners, cost structure, how to generate the revenue, and the key resources. So thank you very much for the session.
Thank you, Priyanka, for giving us opportunity to interact with students. And yeah, that's a great opportunity for us too.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Rahul and Arad. Thank you.
Yeah.